Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Ori's Tide and Timber. My name's Ori, and in today's episode, I really want to just set the scene. I'll take you on a tour of our property, show you what we're looking to do, some of the projects we're hoping to get up to, and just explain what the channel's about. So follow along, hope you guys enjoy, and let's get straight into it, eh? My name is Ori, a city boy from Auckland and ex-Olympic swimmer, now trying my hand at this YouTube thing. I'll show you my life here in paradise as we build a future that me and my family love. We'll build stuff, grow things, cook incredible food from what we have around us, and go on the most amazing adventures. Welcome to Tide and Timber. All right, welcome guys. I thought I'd just kick off this first episode by showing you guys a tour of the property. As mentioned, this is kind of paradise for us, and you can see the mountain in the background. Part of our property goes up to the hill there. I'll go for a wander up there and show you the view, but down at the boundary here we have this little creek. Up this way we go into the paddock. We've got a little bit of an orchard, the beginnings of an orchard, so the plan is to obviously plant it out a little bit more. This vine is a passion fruit vine, so in late summer we get some really good fruit off there. We've got two peaches that do really well in the summer. These go great, so it's going into autumn now. They'll start to die back a little bit, and I'll come in and I'll prune them over the winter and make them a little bit better. I don't think there's kind of too much that needs to be done, but a few little things here and there to make it better next season. We've got an avocado, 1 and number 2 just there behind them. They don't seem to be doing great. A little bit of browning on the leaves, so I do need to figure out what's causing that and see what I can do to help. And pretty much down to the end of our property here where this paddock, this fence line is, we've got that awesome big macrocarpa tree, which is pretty, picturesque, and you'll see that in lots of the videos. This is what I end up mowing most weeks, or whenever I can really. As we go into winter, the field does get a little bit boggy, so I've got to figure out a solution for that, because the tractor really does start to get a bit bogged down, and you can even see in some patches where the tyres have started tuning up a bit of mud. It's just too heavy. So we'll head back up towards the garage. We've got a nice big 3-bay garage, which is awesome. Enough space for all the things we're going to be doing and want to do. Nice big water tank. This isn't actually connected to the house. This is just kind of additional water supply should we need it. We can use it in the garden, can use it for other little projects if we need. Always good to have water. And we've got a nice big concrete pad. Just having that space is so useful. You wouldn't have thought it, but being able to have the kids run around and play on bikes and skateboards and stuff like that, it's awesome. So yeah, probably look at putting things in like a basketball hoop or something like that at some stage. That can be a project for later on. And then this way, this is where I really want to put an outdoor kitchen, something like that. Patio area with a bit of a fire pit and an outdoor space to do some cooking. Over here we've got a little veggie garden. This was already here when we bought the place. So it's got some strawberries established in there already. There's a bit of rocket. It's a bit overgrown at the moment, but it does really good in summer. So through here, we're going to wander up this way. Again, my idea eventually is to be able to plant out a lot more of this space so that I don't have to mow so much. You can see what I'm talking about with the tractor. It's already starting to churn it up. It does get quite wet. So if I can plant some more in here, stop me bringing the tractor in, that'll be awesome. And then through this way. So through this way, got a couple more trees. We've got two guavas over here, which is cool because they're late summer, autumn. So, you can see we've still got some fruit on there. And these, not massive trees, but they go great. Yeah, it's still good. Yum. We carry on through here. We've got this nice little meadow. It's a cool little spot in the property. You've got no one else around really. You feel quite secluded and you can just chill out. So as we carry on around here, we've got the farm track that goes up back here. This was a farm historically, and that's obviously what they used this road for, was to get around. It does carry on through our property towards the neighbours, but now there's a fence in the road, so it is cut off, but still gives us access up here to the hill. Planting this out a little bit more as well will help it along. This whole hill used to be covered in gorse, and so you can see as the tea tree shoots up, it shades it out, creates a canopy, and it just cuts off the sunlight, so you don't get that gorse growing through it. But I would love to put in a few more big natives, some kauri, some of the other big ones, maybe kahikatea as well. Get a bit more variety going on. Not that I don't love the tea tree, but this stuff is great. We get lots of kind of windfall, and that's obviously perfect for firewood. It's really dense, good wood for burning, so, and stuff like this, perfect kindling and tinder. We can just grab a whole handful of that, light that up, stick it in your firebox, and away you go. So now we're just coming out to the top of the field. Now, if you know anything about grass, we get a lot of this stuff, this nasty kikuyu grass. So when we're in here, you can actually see, I don't know what type of grass this is, but it's so much nicer. And I would love for that to be spread out around the property a bit more. So I don't know, I'll see if there's anything I can do with that, because it's already here. We just got to figure out a way to get rid of this nasty stuff. But this is the top of the field, like I was saying. I think it would be a great spot to either put the sauna somewhere around here, because if you look that way, you get a really nice view out to the sea. And it's just a nice little private spot. But I don't know, guys, what do we reckon? Lots of ideas, lots of time to figure things out. I don't want to rush into making all these big wholesale changes that I end up regretting later, so I am just kind of taking it easy, seeing what I can do, what I can manage with the time I've got. I still work full time, so this is all kind of weekends and outside of normal work hours, the stuff that I do up here. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this little wander around, show you a bit more of the place and kind of what we're thinking we'll do, and also, you know, what we think might look good. Here he is, right on cue, our little friend, the fantail. So you're going to come back to say hi? Can you see him in the tree? Now, as I mentioned before, I'm just going for a walk up the hill. This is our bush that kind of runs up to the reserve, the boundary of the reserve at the back of our property. Now, when you get up the top there is quite a nice little clearing, and you can see out to the sea, which is really beautiful. You've got a nice little view to the coast, but you can also obviously just chill out in the bush, and maybe in the future we'll look at setting up some kind of glamping set up in the bush, somewhere you could pitch a tent, or I don't know, some kind of structure, or, you know, temporary thing we can just knock up quickly. Right now, so as I alluded to when I was giving you guys the tour, there's a couple of things I would like to do. So out off this deck, I'm thinking it would be great to have an outdoor kitchen area, somewhere that we can go and prepare food and cook and be out away from this covered veranda. Here's just a rough mock-up of a sauna, like I mentioned up on the hill. Also a bit of an overview of what I'd like to do with some of the planting on that steep hillside where the tractor kind of gets bogged in. So those are some of the projects and a couple of the ideas visualized for you so that you can tell what it is I'm talking about when I mention them in the videos, and you've got a picture in your mind's eye of what we're aiming for. So a bit more history about me. As I said in the intro, I've been a competitive swimmer representing New Zealand internationally, but something I haven't done a lot of is any kind of fishing in my life, really. Growing up, it was never something my family were into, but I have found that as I've gotten older and started a family of my own, it's something I'm interested in trying out. Not to go crazy and shoot a whole bunch of fish or catch a whole bunch of fish, but just as a means of feeding the family and trying to do it in a way that's a little bit friendlier on the wallet. And secondly, means I get to get out in the ocean. So, for me, that's just a bonus. I love being in the water. So if I can pair those things together and get something to feed the family with, then even better. So this is all new. I'm learning as I go. But obviously having that background in the sport of swimming does help a bit, being out in the water. But there's plenty of stuff I'm learning as I go as well. Alright, that was pretty chilly. Now, one of the things on my list of wants or needs is a wetsuit. At some stage I'm sure I'll get there, but for now I am just making do with what I got, and getting some time in the water is probably the main thing. So watch this space. I'll get a bit more kit as we go along. But closing out the episode, I hope it's been helpful. You guys can see the vision now, and if it's something you guys want to follow along with, please hit like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. But we will see you in the next one. Cheers.